Good morning and welcome to Farm Factor. I'm your host, Jamie Bloom. Today, Kyle Bauer is with Barrie Luers with Midwest Livestock Systems. See the features of one of their newly built hog facilities at Henry Pork, a family hog operation in Clay County. Next, find out how seed stock producers are using quality genetics to help increase profits for commercial ranchers and feeders. Then Kyle Bauer is back at Henry Pork in Clay County and talks with Hyatt Frobose, a swine nutritionist with Gestal. He explains how their feeding system increases animal welfare by allowing sows to live in group settings and still be able to provide individual feeding for each sow's dietary needs. Next up is today's Kansas Farm Bureau update. And to wrap up, it's Plain Talk with Kyle and Duane. It's all coming up on Farm Factor today. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center, right here in my hometown of Oakley, Kansas. We're the front door of Western Kansas, located on three main highways, I-70, US 83, and US 40. And all those roads lead to history, beautiful scenery, and adventure, no matter which direction you go. We now have an IHOP. That brand that you've trusted up and down the road in all your travels is staffed with local folks, real people, just like you and me, and we're waiting on you to join us. So for fun, adventure, fuel up, fuel your body, and let's have some fun.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Welcome back to Farm Factor. Kyle Bauer is back at Henry Pork's open house today and talks with Barrie Luers with Midwest Livestock, who gives us a tour of one of their customized state-of-the-art barns.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer. I get a chance to visit with Barrie Luers. He's general manager with Midwest Livestock Systems. Midwest Livestock Systems, especially when it comes to hog operations, you have a very large footprint. You make a lot of confined animal feeding units every year, and you have for decades.
Yes, we've been in business for almost 50 years now, located headquartered out of Beatrice, Nebraska, and that's allowed us to participate in a lot of changes in the industry and continue to be we think play an important role in construction design of those facilities.
We're at a facility today in southern Clay County owned by the Henry family. It's what you did here as a general contractor is pretty par for the course you do everywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. We get involved very early with the customer in terms of design and first of all identifying what they want. We don't try to force our customers to take on a particular design because we realize that needs are different in different areas. So we'll sit down with the customer, identify specific things that they want to have in their facility, and then offer them many options on technology and different equipment that is now available in the industry so that they're given the opportunity to look at new things that are coming along. So if they have an existing facility, it could be that they're very happy with what they have, or it could be that they're interested in upgrading and saying, there's a better way to do this, let's look at doing that. So we try to partner very carefully with those customers to make sure that they get an opportunity to see all of the different technologies, changes, upgrades that are now become available in the industry. Yeah, we've learned over the years what it takes to have facilities be able to stand up to today's hogs. You know, we're producing a market hog today that's between 285 and 295. It's a bigger animal. I started in the industry about 25 years ago, and we were marketing 230, 240 pound pigs in those days. So the animals have gotten bigger, they're stronger, they can do more damage. And so the way that we build these facilities has to be able to withstand the type of power that larger animal can produce. So we've learned a lot about how to make things more pig-proof so that the animals are very comfortable and well cared for, but yet the equipment will stand the test of time and hold up so that producer gets the most value out of that dollar that they invest in that facility. We're standing in a pen gestation situation here where the sows are fed with automated feeding systems. That is technology that's come in the industry in the last 3 or 4 years. This particular approach is one that's becoming very popular, where we have multiple feeding stations in these group housing pens, so that we have redundancy built in, so that because things do fail, these are electronic feeders, and so electronic equipment, you can have failures in the circuitry, in the boards, and so these have redundant systems so that we're still feeding sows. Even if we have one unit go down, those sows can still get feed from the other stations that are in the pen. The other technology that is very interesting is the control technology, the ventilation control technology that is built into this farm. Very cutting edge.
We're visiting with Barrie Luers. He's with Midwest Livestock Systems in Beatrice, Nebraska. This is Kyle Bauer reporting.
Thanks, Kyle. After the break, learn what genetics contribute to marbling in beef.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, cleaner American fuel. Message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Join Ag AM in Kansas, everyone, Monday through Friday mornings on local stations throughout the state of Kansas, and every day on your favorite social media. Monday kicks off with Dr. Dan Thompson on Doc Talk, as he's joined by leading veterinarians and nutritionists in food animal production. They discuss current production challenges and tips on how to deal and prepare for those challenges. Tuesdays on Farm Factor, it is our friends here at KFRM Radio with interviews from top experts in agriculture. Wednesday, it is a little of Kansas history with Deb Goodrich on Around Kansas. Thursday, Britton Rucker brings us Ag Etc. This day is filled with agriculture research and ag happenings around the Midwest, including our new Young Leaders in Ag segment. We end the week with Authentic Ag and updates from your local checkoff programs. Make sure to check your local listings or like us on Facebook and Twitter at Ag AM in Kansas and on YouTube at Farming Unlimited TV, so you never miss an episode. Thanks for watching. This segment brought to you by Kansas Wheat. Learn more at rediscoverwheat.org.
Welcome back to Farm Factor as we find out how beef genetics play a big role in commercial beef.
Great tasting beef makes for good times and a desire to buy more of the best to celebrate with family and friends.
And that starts with us breeding the cattle that will increase marbling and increase the carcass qualities of those cattle, so the consumer has customer satisfaction.
The genetics of a bull and cow heavily influence marbling in their calves, and marbling is an easy trait for cattlemen to include.
It's something that you can add to these cattle no matter what size and what your goals are as far as productivity, or if you want to maximize yearling growth or whatever, you can add marbling for, I mean, it's a free addition basically, and if you want to keep the cows moderate, you can still add the marbling and have something that's satisfactory in the end and targets the brand.
Seed stock producers keep quality in their breeding decisions to help increase profit for commercial ranchers and feeders.
We wanted to create a bull that would create calves, that would create a consistent higher market for our commercial customers, because in the competitive bull market, our customers need to make money. And the best way to do that would be to produce genetics that were going to please the ultimate customer, which is the consumer. The premium that is paid by the consumer at the end needs to trickle down, to the cow-calf man who's actually producing that calf.
To make that happen, the Butlers work to build relationships between their bull customers and feed yard operators.
We have been able to instigate or encourage or begin communication between the different segments of the industry through the years. So I had a newsletter that I sent out for years trying to connect the high marbling feeder calves to the feeders who were feeding them. We've done seminars, we have done meetings here in the yard trying to, connect those two groups of people. We actually feel like we're able to get some premiums back to our customers.
The growing global demand for premium beef is a good sign of profits down the road for cattlemen who target quality.
A lot of people are thinking that maybe we're going to saturate this market with high quality cattle, but I think the demand is only growing, and worldwide I think, a small part of this world eats the premium product like we do, and the others are finding how tasty and how satisfactory it is. They're going to want that as well.
I'm Bob Cervera.
When we come back, Kyle is back at Henry Pork and talks with Hyatt Frobose about how their system provides individual feedings to sows, even when in small groups.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but yet we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we'll be glad to answer it and work with you.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source, together we grow.
ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need. From prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment brought to you by Sure Crop. Liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
We're back. Kyle Bauer is with Hyatt Frobose, a swine nutritionist with Gestal.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer. I get a chance to visit with Hyatt Frobose. He is with Gestal. We are in a brand new, large swine operation, and we're able to be in here because they won't bring hogs in for another couple days. But your company, Gestal, they provide a lot of the equipment in this building to care for the animals and their care. Can you talk about the general theme, if you will, when you design the equipment to take care of the sows and the breeding stock?
Yeah, well, the breeding herd is really the foundation of the pork industry, and we want to help producers to provide not only a safe and high welfare environment for these females, but we also want them to be able to be highly prolific and productive in production. So it's our job as technology and product suppliers to create solutions for customers that are easy to use and implement in production, but also allow them to give sows individualized care and feed them the precise diet that they need at that specific stage of their pregnancy or during their lactation periods, so that they can put out piglets that are high quality and robust and have maximum livability. And at the same time, we want to keep these sows in the herd for a long time. So by helping them maintain the right body condition in an efficient manner is what's ultimately going to be helping this family farm stay in business for a long time.
You know, when you talk about multiple sows and gilts, though, how do you deal with them individually with nutrition?
Yeah, great question. So feeding the sow is something that I'm passionate about as a swine nutritionist, and that's part of what led me to this company that I work with Gestal. But in practical management terms, we want to keep the sow in the right body condition at all times and the ideal body condition for their stage of production. So for example, when they're nursing their litter of pigs, which might be 12 or 13 pigs, we want them to eat as much as they can so that they can A, maintain their own body condition, but B, produce enough milk for those pigs to grow fast and wean at a heavy weight and stay healthy and viable. But we also don't want those sows to milk down to the point where they're so skinny that they can't breed back and stay in the herd. So it's our job to provide the right type of technologies and precise diets. And when it comes to the gestation period, we're trying to manage the balance between these being herd animals that exhibit a dominance hierarchy, that if you just let animals have free access to feed during their pregnancy period, there's going to be boss sows and submissive sows in the pen, that there's going to be some winners and losers, right? So what we're trying to do with some of our technologies is we're placing the animals in breeding stalls, which is what's behind us in this video, for a short period of time so that we can detect them in estrus. We can use a boar to do that. We're going to artificially inseminate those animals and get them bred and pregnancy check them after about a month. And after about 1 month in those stalls where they're able to be fed and managed individually, we're going to graduate them over to these Gestal pens, which are post-pregnancy check. And they're going to stay in these pens for around 10 to 11 weeks. And during that time, they get to live in a group and interact with other sows, which is where sometimes the risk factor can be if we're not able to manage the feed individually, because that's where you get the boss sows that might get chubby and the skinny sows who are submissive. So by providing an individualized feeding stall where they can be read on an RFID tag, we're actually able to give them their prescribed diet on a daily basis. And from a management standpoint, it makes finding the problem animals really easy. Instead of having to train your eye to pick out, is she sick or hurt, we have a system that tells you, hey, she didn't get up and eat. She ate yesterday, she ate the day before that, but she hasn't eaten today. And that allows the workers to quickly find and identify the girls that are possible problems before they get to a point where they might have further complications. And so that individualized care and management communication that transfers that back to a central computer is really the future of what we're seeing. And that's also an attraction for labor, because as we look at millennials and Generation Z individuals, they're attracted to technology, and we want to attract people into barns to be the next generation of pork producers. And so that technology can also be an attractive factor for them because they grew up with technology, and they may not want to be scoop and feed with a shovel. They'd rather let the technology do it and use the technology to streamline their labor force.
We're visiting with Hyatt Frobose. He is with Gestal. We are in rural Clay County. This is Kyle Bauer reporting.
Thanks, Kyle. When we come back, it's this week's Kansas Farm Bureau update. Stay tuned.
No one plans to get sick or injured. But when life happens, it's important you and your family are protected. Kansas Farm Bureau health plans are there to provide continued health care coverage to meet your needs. Choose from a broad range of individual and family plans. And if you're over 65, we have options for you too. Learn more at kfbhealthplans.com or contact a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you.
Highways 40, 83, and I-70 come together right here in Oakley. Roads that lead to businesses, to magnificent rock formations, to scenic vistas, to places where legends were made. Roads that lead us home. Discover Oakley, the gateway to Western Kansas.
Okay, looks like it's time for our tour. Welcome to the Fort Wallace Museum. Here at the museum, you're going to find some really interesting stuff, like our replica stagecoach from the Butterfield Overland Dispatch. We've got facades from the fort buildings. We've got an 1870s flag. There's a plesiosaur that was discovered locally. We've got the Ray pump organ collection. We're a little bitty place with a great big story, and we'd love to have you.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or for more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to Farm Factor and the Kansas Farm Bureau update.
My name is Jackie Munt, and I represent the 7th District on the Vote FBF board. So now more than ever, this is going to be our last election before we have the census redistricting. There's more people who are in urban areas and less people who are going to be in rural areas and have that firsthand understanding of what it's like to be on a farm and the issues that are there. And so it's really important for us to have people who engage in the process and speak up about what's important to one of the most important industries in our state. And so I think that people getting out in this election cycle, which again, all of the races almost are on the table. So we've got 125 House races, we've got 40 Senate races, we've got our federal races, all 4 of the House districts, as well as a Senate seat up. And so this is a great time to speak up and say, agriculture is an important industry in our state, and we want to be able to continue to have family farms and ranches. And so we need people who, even if they don't have a farming background, are willing to be engaged in the process. And that's why our members need to make their voices known, which they historically have been very strong. We want to keep that strength up so that people will see us as the voice of agriculture.
Stay with us. We'll be back after the break with Plain Talk.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
These days, no one can afford to take the risk of being without financial protection against high health care costs, not even for a few days. Kansas Farm Bureau health plans offer short-term health care coverage to fill in those temporary gaps. Short-term health plans can provide you with medical coverage when you are between health plans, helping lower your potential financial risk. Learn more at kfbhealthplans.com or contact a Farm Bureau financial services agent near you.
I'm Bob Swartz, and I've devoted the last 43 years to helping Kansans reach their retirement goals and to protect the family farm. At Bob Swartz Financial, we believe everyone should be able to live the retirement they've always dreamed of. Our team of professionals can help you create an efficient strategy using a variety of investment vehicles to help you address your financial needs and your concerns. Bob Swartz Financial values, commitment, and transparency.
This segment brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Let us help feed your family.
Welcome back. Now let's see what Kyle and Duane are up to on Plain Talk.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer with Plain Talk, with the guy who always said, "You trying to kill me?" No, that isn't what I was going to. The guy who always says, "Ideas are easy, execution is hard." Duane Taves.
Man, and the older I get, actually, I stole that from you, in full disclosure.
That's all right. I probably stole it from somebody else.
I stole that from you, and the older I get, the more I bring that up in even social settings, not just business settings, but social conversations about different things. I mean, there's lots of stuff going on in the world, and when people come up and you
hey, I got an idea.
Yeah, I got an idea. Or there's a problem. Why can't they fix this? It's like, well, you probably, if it ain't fixed and there's enough people working on it, you probably or I don't understand the full depth of the problem.
Right. No, that's right. And let's just say that we have a meeting and we give 5 people the same idea.
Right.
How many of them do you think will execute and it's a good idea, okay? It's an idea we're all going to make money, okay? I'm just going to pick money is because that's a motivator for
most.
How many people, of those 5, how many try it all?
I'm going to say 2.
Okay, I'll live with that. And then of those 2, how many are successful?
1.
Maybe.
Well, you can't have half a people.
Right, exactly. No, it's ideas are easy. Executing it is the hard part out there.
Your fact or fiction question of the day, Kyle Bauer. The speakers in St. Peter's Cathedral.
I think I've been there.
Are camouflaged to look like paintings. Fact or fiction?
Oh, that's funny because I've wanted to talk about camouflaging things that are obvious. And so we will do that. You know what? I never saw any speakers when I was there. So you know what? I'm going to go with fiction. I think they're camouflaged as something else.
They are. It's to look like marble.
Okay, because that's my idea when I'm thinking of it. It's like, man, it's just marble everywhere. So you know where all that marble came from?
Yeah, no idea.
The Colosseum.
Oh.
Yeah, of course, and it might have been used for 200 years in the Colosseum. Actually, when we were in Rome a year or two ago, 3 or 4, whatever it was, that was the thing that was startling to me, is I thought the Colosseum would be bigger.
Oh.
And it's not as grandiose because they took almost all the marble off the outside of it and reused it, repurposed it. Now, again, I'm not very good with the history on it, so it might have been used for 200 years over there before they took it away. But there was another church we went to, I think in Bologna, that they marbled it up like, I'll say 30 feet. And then from then on, it's just stucco or rock or whatever. And what it amounted to was somebody else had decided this was all going to be marble, and they got about that high, and they needed to raise a whole bunch more money, and the local people said, nah, that's good enough. We don't need a marble church, and it's several hundred years old. So
I thought maybe the county appraiser came by and told them what it was going to be.
Exactly.
You know what that's going to be valued
when
at?
this thing is finished. And so as long as we never finish it, yeah.
No offense to our county appraiser friends out there.
But that was Duane Taves, not Kyle Bauer.
Just kidding. Take a joke.
I have heard of people that have said that before, but I think if you have it 2/3 done, you'll get a 2/3 of the value, which I don't know. I mean, would it be worth 2/3 or worth 90% if it's totally functional and you never finished it? So I don't know. It's just, but again, that was Duane Taves, not Kyle Bauer.
Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Jamie Bloom, and I hope you enjoyed today's show. See you next week on Farm Factor.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com.
These days, no one can afford to take the risk of being without financial protection against high health care costs, not even for a few days. Kansas Farm Bureau health plans offer short-term health care coverage to fill in those temporary gaps. Short-term health plans can provide you with medical coverage when you are between health plans, helping lower your potential financial risk. Learn more at kfbhealthplans.com or contact a Farm Bureau financial services agent near you.
KFRM is one of the largest farm radio stations in the nation, dedicated to informing and entertaining rural listeners from northern Oklahoma to southwestern Nebraska. You can catch KFRM in many ways. Of course, 550 on the AM dial, streaming at kfrm.com, or on your smartphone by going to the TuneIn Radio app, or on Ag AM in Kansas on Tuesdays and Facebook every day of the week. KFRM, tune us in. You'll be glad you did.